Hi everybody, Steve Harville with Creative Ventures here, and we thought we'd use a video to introduce our ideas how we might contribute to the effectiveness of Practice Management University 2017. The idea is to design a strategy that we could present and implement at the meetings. It would have three parts to it. The first part would be that it was something that they could actually do while they were there at Practice Management University. The second piece would be a powerful strategy. And lastly is that it would directly impact their value proposition. So we'd like to introduce our strategic platform called the Once Upon a Time Project, or our strategy all around the power of story. We would then take this and introduce it in a two-part strategy for PMU. The first part would be a stage presentation in which we would introduce the idea so that everyone in the audience could engage in the idea, start with an understanding and I get it aspect of what the idea is. In the content for the first presentation, we would introduce the two parts of story, crafting and telling. In the crafting format, we would introduce the three parts of story, beginning, middle, and end. And in the telling part of the presentation, we'd introduce the power of an emotional connection in the story that you tell. We'd introduce this in our standard multimedia interactive format. Then we take you to part two of this idea, which is the Once Upon a Time project in a workshop format. Every single participant would get a Once Upon a Time workshop notebook. And in this, we'd begin the process of crafting and learning to tell a value proposition. We would do this based on a template. And a template has three parts. It begins with the description of what do you do, the core foundation of the answer to the people's question about how you position your skill sets. The second part is about what value do you bring to your client relationships. Can you define that value? And can you connect it to the emotional elements that are associated with someone giving you their bag of money and entrusting you with their financial future? And the last part, probably the most important and the most difficult, is how do you position yourself so that you're different from everyone else that's doing the exact same thing? So in the workshop, we would begin the crafting of what do you do, what value do you bring, and how are you different? We would then connect that with the beginning, middle, and end that they learned in the presentation part. And at the end, every participant would take with them the foundation part for creating their story. And in the world today, of all the machinations of the DOL issues, their most powerful strategic tool, a tool that they are in complete control of all the time, is their story. And we'd like to be the partner that brings that strategy to its highest value use with your financial advisors. Thanks for listening. We look forward to expanding on our ideas.